Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy Simeon Russell coming at you with nothing but Knicks. We just saw the Golden State Warriors sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers. Was to be expected. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the New York Knicks. Now we can really focus on the draft. What's poppin', folks? Yep, sweep. Pretty much we knew what was going to happen. We knew what was going on with it. Cavaliers just had no, just wasn't much they could do. They just didn't have the firepower. Just don't have the same firepower. You know what I mean? You need firepower to win in the NBA. That's one thing. Got to have firepower. They didn't have enough firepower, you know? So LeBron's out. Out of the finals. I guess I don't want to say he's out of the finals, but LeBron, the Cavs done. The team, this Cavaliers team as we know it is done. I don't know what LeBron is going to do. But I can guarantee you that this team as we know it is through. It's over. They're done. Listen, as much as I'm not a LeBron James fan, I got to admit, he was playing in the finals with a bunch of Fruit Loops, man. You know what I mean? He didn't have a team with him. You know, he drugged those guys into the finals and tried to win with them. Just didn't have enough firepower. Just didn't have enough. And, they've got to do some serious restructuring of that team if they want to keep LeBron around and if they plan to make it back to the NBA Finals next year. You know what I mean? Is LeBron going to leave? It's a good question. I don't know. I'd like to see him stick around. You know, that's just what he should do. That's what he should do, right? He should fight through it with his squad, for his city, for his region. You know what I mean? He means a lot to that region. Economically, he means a lot to that region. Although we shouldn't put that pressure on him, right? It shouldn't be. The pressure shouldn't be on one man to keep a region together, a region of the United States of America. Keep that region together. Shouldn't be on that one man. But sometimes it's like that, you know. So the question is now, the rumors are going to begin about LeBron. They started already before the finals was even over, before the finals were even here. But now they are seriously going to pick up every little thing that he's done. His body language. If he crossed his eyes sideways, every little thing that he's done is going to be scrutinized. Is going to be used as something to say that he's done, that he's gone, or that he's staying. Sometimes it is utterly ridiculous. It's just ridiculous the way that I see the media, fans, everyone scrutinize every little thing that he does. Everything. But it's LeBron and it happens. You know what I mean? Emmanuel C. You say LeBron better not go to Houston. You know what? Houston's going to make a push, and I think he's definitely going to listen. Why would he not listen? They're going to make a push, and I'm pretty sure they already have a way, an idea in mind on how they can get LeBron James. I can guarantee you they have an idea. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. I know we're a Knicks show, but hey, it's the NBA. We're going to talk about it. If LeBron James goes to Houston, do you think, I don't know when the timeline is for Melo to decide whether or not he's going to opt out of his contract. If LeBron James were to decide to go to Houston, would Carmelo Anthony opt out of his contract so that he can sign with Houston and be part of that mix? Again, I don't know when the timeline is for him to opt out. Carmelo Anthony, I'm talking about. I'm not sure when, when that needs to happen. Right? But could you see that situation? The 23rd of June to opt out? Okay. If he has till the 23rd of June to opt out, then, you probably know that's not going to happen unless Melo and LeBron and Chris Paul discuss it. You know what I mean? Siobhan, and I'm going to get to your super chat too. I just wanted to wait until we got to Kyrie, but I'm going to get to your super chat. You say Melo wants the money. You know what? Melo is definitely about his money. I concur. He is about his money, and this is definitely his last big check. Markel, it definitely is $28 million. He's not going to get that on the market. But Melo's got money. You know what I mean? Melo's got money. The kid, the guy's been paid very well throughout his career. Would this be the time where he says, I can join up with a squad and win, try to win a championship? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say. Because listen, Houston's not going to have enough money to bring in LeBron James and get Melo with Melo's contract. So if he wanted to do something like that, if he wanted to try to team up with Chris Paul and LeBron James, that's the way it would have to be out. That's the way it would have to go down. But if LeBron James does go to Houston, it's hard for me to see how they lose, especially with the way that Houston could have beaten the Warriors if Chris Paul played. Is it a guarantee that they beat the Warriors? No. But they could have. They took them to 7 games without Chris. Well, Chris Paul was there for most of the series, but he wasn't there for the last 2 games. And Houston, in those last 2 games, jumped out the leads in both of those games. Couldn't hold on. You have Chris Paul, they might hold on in either one of those games, and they be the ones playing Cleveland in the NBA Finals. And listen, I think if Houston would have played Cleveland in the NBA Finals, I'm not going to say that, well, there would definitely be a different outcome because the Warriors wouldn't have been there. I'm not going to say that Cleveland would have beaten Houston, but it would have looked a lot different than this. You know what I mean? MH, you say as a Melo fan, hell yes. As an unbiased fan, Melo should just do whatever he thinks is right. Well, of course. Melo's going to do what's right for him and his family. That's first and foremost, right? If I were Melo, if it was me, would I opt out of $28 million knowing that it's going to be my last big payday? That's a very good question. It depends on how much money I had. Did Melo blow his money, or does Melo have money? Does Melo have money stacked? You know what I mean? If Melo has money stacked, and Melo invests in different things, he invests in technology and things like that. If Melo has money stacked, then maybe he's like, you know what? I'm not too worried about the $28 million. I'll sign for something little for a chance to win a ring. If he doesn't have money stacked, then he may need that $28 million. You know what I mean? Emmanuel C, I see what you're saying. You say LBJ going to Houston is the easy way out. It is. It's definitely the easy way out, for sure. It's the easy way out for LeBron. Houston, Houston and the Houston fans, I'm sure, would welcome it. You know, pretty positive they would welcome it. Daniel and Glaro, you say LeBron stays East. But let me ask you a question, Daniel. Is it easier for LeBron to win a championship if he stays in the East or to win a championship if he joins the Houston Rockets? Which one is easier for LeBron? I know you're going to say if he stays in the East. If he stays in the East, he probably has a better chance of making it to the finals. Doesn't mean he's going to beat the Warriors or the Rockets. If he goes to the Rockets found a way to clear up money. He went to the Rockets. He'd have a very, very, very good chance of beating the Golden State Warriors. You know, that's I think that's a fair question. You know, I think it's a fair question. If LeBron stays in the East, I think he's going to stay in Cleveland or go to a team like Philadelphia or the Celtics if they have money. I do not know if they're going to have money. I'm not sure of what their cap looks like right now. You know, I'd have to check out their cap. But it's going to be interesting. Interesting, very interesting summer. It's going to be a LeBron watch all summer long. And listen, LeBron may very well hold up free agency for a while. You know what I mean? He may very well hold up free agency. Because chips may not fall until people know what LeBron is going to do. It happens like that. It's funny how free agency happens sometimes. You know what I mean? But when free agency starts to jump off this year, you know, some people may wait to see what LeBron does, and deals may be made or negotiated in the event that LeBron stays in Cleveland or in the event that LeBron leaves Cleveland. Different deals may be negotiated. And so we may not see chips fall until LeBron makes a decision. And it could hold up free agency. You know, of course, you're going to have some teams making small moves here, small moves there. You know what I mean? But some of your bigger things, if there are bigger things in this free agency, may not happen until LeBron makes a move. You know, so, you know, there'll definitely be a LeBron watch this summer. But let's talk about the marquee story for today. You know, in the NBA, there's stories daily. For the Knicks, there's stories daily. Kyrie Irving to the New York Knicks. 2019. Now, rumors have it. I've seen it on Bleacher Report, seen it through the New York Post, that the Boston Celtics are concerned that Kyrie Irving may not re-sign with them in 2019 and look to sign with the New York Knicks. What are your thoughts about that? Listen, I'm going to be honest. I like Kyrie Irving. I think Kyrie Irving is an amazing basketball player. His ability to finish around the rim, his ability to create his own shot, his ability to find open players. He just has an uncanny knack of getting in the lane, scoring in multiple ways, off the glass, floaters, I mean, whatever it is. Kyrie is probably the best finisher in the league. But I do not think that the Knicks should sign Kyrie Irving in 2019. I don't. Would I be supremely upset? Probably not. As a matter of fact, I would probably be excited. I'm not going to lie. As a basketball fan, I would be excited to see that kind of point guard and excitement in New York. We have not had that kind of a point guard, and I do not know how long. Have we ever? Marbury? And Marbury still isn't even close to Kyrie, in my opinion. Not even close. Not even close. Marbury was exciting. I liked Marbury. I didn't like his attitude, but I liked Marbury. I liked his style of play. You know, he was a little bit not selfish as a basketball player because he did try to spread the ball around and find his teammates. Just selfish, just a selfish person kind of Marbury was. But, you know, I did like Marbury. So with Kyrie Irving come to the Knicks, we wouldn't have. You know, it'll be the first time, and I don't since Marbury that we've had that type of a point guard. But I still think it's a bad move. I think it's a bad move because we gotta pay Kyrie Irving $30 million. I'm not ready for that. Sorry, I'm not ready for that. We got to pay him $30 million and his knees are questionable. We already have a primary player whose knee is going to be questionable. No fault of KP's, but that's just the facts. His knee is going to be questionable from here until the end of his career. It's going to be questionable. There's not much that he's going to be able to do about it. He can... You know, he's going to strengthen the muscles around it. He's going to get stronger. Hopefully, he's going to prove that he can play. But it's always going to be a question. And there's going to be times, no doubt about it, that KP is going to need to get the knee cleaned. He's going to miss time for that. If it's just a little bit, if it's aching, he's going to miss some time for that. So we already have one player that we've got to deal with that with. We don't need another. Not right now. You know what I mean? And you got to pay $30 million to him. Guaranteed, you're going to have to pay about $30 million to him. Are we ready? Financially, are we ready to take that jump? Are we going to be ready in 2019 to do that? We're going to have to pay KP in 2019. Now, we should have a little bit of money. 2020, we really have money. But we should have some money. We're going to have to pay KP and Kyrie. Are we ready for that? Listen, KP and Kyrie will be a hell of a duo. I'm not going to lie. It'll be a hell of a duo. And then if you have some other pieces to surround those two, you know, listen, KP and Kyrie. And if we add somebody significant this summer, and then depending on what happens next year, you add another piece that is significant. And then you bring in Kyrie. It's a tough decision. I'm not going to lie. It's a tough decision. It'd be a tough, very tough decision. But I'm not sure if you do it. You know what I mean? I'm scared of the knee. He's been injury prone since he's been in the league. Siobhan, I think Noah may be done in 2019. I think it's 2020. No. I think it's 2020. I want to hear what you think about Kyrie and the New York Knicks. And if the Knicks should sign Kyrie in 2019, if he's available to the Knicks, if Kyrie wants to come to the Knicks. And the reason why that rumor is out there is because apparently when Kyrie was with Cleveland, he told players on that Cavaliers team that he'd like to go play for the Knicks. That he wants to be part of the New York Knicks. Chris Mannix of Yahoo Sports. Chris Mannix says, on his podcast, the Celtics are scared Kyrie could leave next summer. I think they're scared, Manic said. I think they're scared and should be scared to some degree of Kyrie and walking in 2019. I know he had a great year, but there are people in Cleveland that will tell you that the Knicks should be considered a real threat for Kyrie Irving because Kyrie had talked about it, about playing with the Knicks with some players in the Cleveland locker room. So who knows? And listen, that was then. This is now. Things could have changed. Things definitely could have changed, especially seeing how the Celtics competed this year without him. And with him in the lineup, they are definitely a championship squad. Listen, they were a championship squad this year. I knew that they weren't going to beat LeBron because I didn't think that they were ready mentally. But they'll be ready mentally next year, and they'll probably go to the finals next year. And to tell you the truth, with or without him, with or without Kyrie, they'll probably be in the NBA Finals. So give me a call. Lines are open, please. Give me a call. I want to know what you think about the possibility of Kyrie going to the Knicks in 2019. Do you think we should do it? Do you think we should sign Kyrie Irving if he wants to come to the Knicks? My vote is no. That's my vote. But, I'm only one person. What do I know? I'm only one person. But, I just don't think we're ready for it. Not to deal with the injury and just all that stuff. I don't think we're ready for it. My man, Tony Crow, what's poppin', brother?
Yo, Black is time. Shout out to the chat. What's going on,
man? So, what do you think about this Kyrie Irving situation, man? This Kyrie Irving news. If Kyrie Irving is a free agent, well, we know he's going to be a free agent in 2019. If he wants to come to the Knicks, what's your thoughts?
Sit him down, bring him in. We'll know a lot more, next summer about who we have this draft.
Right.
Obviously we'll know this summer what's going on with the bigs.
Right.
But I would of course I wouldn't be opposed to it as long as we're not trading for him now. Sit him down. Let's see what we can negotiate.
Okay.
And how he fits. Whether Frank is more suited as a 2 or 3 or something of that nature.
Okay.
If Frank is becoming who he's projected and he's staying the point guard, then we may not have a need for Kyrie.
Right.
So, but I love the talent. You know what I mean?
Of course, you gotta love the talent. Listen, like I said, man, Kyrie is, he's one of a kind. He's one of a kind.
Yeah, I was saying, I wrote Rod Strickland. That's the last Nick point guard who had moves like moves like that.
Moves like that. Yeah, matter of fact, Rod Strickland worked with Kyrie to become a finisher.
Yeah, facts.
He worked with Kyrie to be. See, I'm just afraid of the contract and the knee. That's what I'm afraid of with Kyrie. You know what I mean?
Well, listen. Nowadays, you can put them stipulations in the contract like Embiid. So, you know what I mean? If he really want to come here, let's be fair. Let's put stipulations in the contract.
True.
I was saying the same thing about KP. If they wanted to extend him now, just give him the Embiid contract. You know what I mean? Put them stipulations in there.
Yeah, I still would. Listen, I don't think that the Knicks are going to extend him this year, and I think KP knows that because of the knee.
I'm saying that's the only way to do it. If you're gonna do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
yeah. I hear what you're saying. If you're gonna do it,
that's what the the smart GMs and execs do. They put clauses in your contract. You know what I mean? And
right.
and stipulations and fine print. So
yeah.
Certain guys, they actually have to maintain a certain average, or it could boil down to shooting a shot percentage.
Right. Yeah. I know. I've seen it.
So, I mean, all that can be worked out, and the more he wants to come here, the easier it is.
To do those type of things if he really wants to go to New York. But see, here's my question: If the Celtics are a championship squad, he's already going to be a leader, right?
Yeah.
You know that. He wanted his own team. It's going to be his team for the most part. I know you got up-and-coming guys with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You got Gordon Hayward that's going to come back. It's still Kyrie's squad. Why would you leave that? Why would you leave that? If they want you back, why would you leave that to go to a Knicks squad where, yes, you're still going to be the man, but you're not going to be in championship contention just because it's not even home, really, right? So just because he's from the metro area,
it kind of is.
I mean, it kind of is, but
we claim Jersey most of the time,
right?
Yeah, like we accept Jersey like 85% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, is he? I don't know. I don't know. Does he do? I mean, maybe if he wants to play in New York that bad, maybe so.
But I'm not even jumping out the window on it, because one, it hasn't came out his mouth, and right. Two, if it came out his mouth,
apparently from what they say, he had these discussions with some Cavaliers players back probably last year before he was traded to the Celtics.
But that's what I'm saying. If it hasn't circulated in the Celtic locker room, right, or if it hasn't got to Ainge himself, right, I wouldn't be too worried about it until next summer. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, I feel what you're saying. I know what you're saying. According to Chris Mannix, the Celtics are apparently kind of scared, a little nervous about it.
That, but I don't even want to read. I don't even want to read into that, because I'm not making no trades with Danny Ainge.
Oh no. And and listen. When it comes to these reporters and things like that, you never know who's in the bag with who, right? Mm-hmm. And Danny Ainge could be like, "Hey, let's put this out there. Let's see if we can bait the Knicks into trading for Kyrie,
exactly,
and give us another asset because we have Terry Rozier. Let's see if we can bait this. So just put this out there in the atmosphere.
Not falling for it.
You know what I mean? You never know. I mean, listen, there's a lot of reporters that are in bed with different players and different general managers and stuff like that. I wouldn't put it past,
Yeah, that's basically what I was saying, but it's a new regime. We ain't falling for it.
Exactly.
Like, but man, what was I gonna say?
And just one second, Tony. Shout out to Siobhan Robinson. Said the Knicks better not trade to get Kyrie in 2019. That's just what we were talking about, right? That's what we were just talking about. You know what I mean? They better not make a trade. That would be crazy to make a trade. But I wouldn't put it past Danny Ainge to put that out there in the atmosphere to try to bait the Knicks into making the trade. Yeah, hopefully we're smart enough. Siobhan,
I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to do that.
Yeah.
Like with the Suns right now or something.
Yeah.
Try to get the pick.
Right. Or any other team, to try to bait them into trading for Kyrie because they believe in Terry Rozier, Siobhan also says, thank you for the super chat. As long as we get Kyrie in free agency, it's a win. He doesn't have defense and injury prone, but so is Curry, and every last one of you would want Curry. He's right. He's right. Mm-hmm. He's right about that. And then Corey Moore Says, as Knicks fans, we are always fixated on pipe dreams. I'm not saying we shouldn't position ourselves for Kyrie, but we shouldn't be consumed by the idea.
Facts.
I'm with that. Yeah, I'm with him too. We shouldn't be consumed by it. We should. I don't think we should position ourselves for Kyrie specifically. We should just position ourselves to have the opportunity to sign a player if they become available. It doesn't have to be Kyrie.
Exactly.
Or to sign a group of players that would make our team better,
Yep.
That's just smart. That's just smart management. You put yourself in the right position, to capitalize on whatever opportunities may come available. Now I see someone say Nick Bez, whatever, says, would you trade Frank for Rozier and swap picks? Would you do that, Tony?
No, yeah. I'm riding with Frank.
I'm riding with Frank. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm riding with Frank too.
I like what Terry did, but I can see Burke doing what Terry did. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. I'm not doing no trades with Danny Ainge.
You can see Trey Burke doing what Terry did. Okay.
Yeah, easily.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't make the playoffs, so we can't do any of that stuff.
Right. That's true. Right.
The playoffs, something special happens like almost every year, every time. You know what I mean? Like it's always somebody who shines in the playoffs.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm not too sold on him. I hope the Celtics are.
I mean, I think that the Celtics are a good evaluator of talent, and they understand. I think they understand what they have in all of their players. And what they need, and what they need.
They understand people are replaceable.
Yeah. Oh, because, right.
You know what I mean? Like, or interchangeable. It's almost like Belichick with the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the way
exactly.
he can bring guys in and out into his system.
Exactly.
And you know what I mean? It doesn't really change a beat.
Right. And I think they maybe better than every other team in the NBA besides maybe the San Antonio Spurs. And maybe even the Warriors too. But they understand what they have and who they have. That's the reason. And I mean, listen, that's the reason why they were able to make the move and go get Jason Tatum. Right? They weren't afraid to move Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder because they knew what they had in Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that they had Gordon Hayward coming in. They I think they understand their players like no other. You know what I mean? And with Terry Rozier doing what he did, they understand they understand and they know. And they're like, listen, can he they're asking the questions. Can he maintain this level of play? You know what I mean? And
it's scary.
I think they know.
It's not even that. They see when production is replaceable.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? Like you look at somebody's stats and they might jump out the table to everyone else, and they're like, well, we could get that same production either from a guy that's here already, or whom, you know what I mean, whoever we're trading for, or they're very smart.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, I mean, that's what Perry is really talking about with the talent acquisition, because once you get a lot of talent, it doesn't even matter if it is all in the same position, if they're all talented, because now you could now you can make moves.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? I definitely don't. I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with Danny Ainge with any kind of deals. He's very smart, very slippery, very wise. You know what I mean? And I don't want to deal with the dude, and not because he's doing anything bad or doing anything wrong. It's just, he's shrewd. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah,
shrewd.
he's playing poker on, on you know what I mean?
Right now he's playing poker and the league is playing checkers. You know, or he's playing chess and the league is playing checkers. Or he's playing poker and the rest of the league is playing Uno or something.
Basically.
You know what I mean?
But I'm gonna let somebody else jump on. I just want to jump on real quick, son. Keep doing your thing.
All right, man.
When we doing a routine, you gonna do like a weekly thing?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna be doing like Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays.
All right.
You know what I mean? I'm thinking probably like 10:30. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at like 10:30.
All right, facts.
Yeah. You know, so that way, you know, we have a nice routine, and then, you know, special things. I do special things, but it's still gonna be like 3 times a week.
No doubt, yo.
Yeah.
Keep doing your thing, Sam. Shout out to the chat. Your blackest time.
All right, bro.
One.
All right, peace, man. Yeah. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting 2 years for the New York Knicks. A lot happening, a lot coming up, a lot of decisions to make. Hopefully Scott Perry's up for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter worked out for the New York Knicks. Well, Saturday now, but on Friday, as a matter of fact. Steve Mills, Scott Perry, and those guys we thought were going to go to Chicago to watch Michael Porter Jr.'s pro day. But obviously they sent some other scouts and they stayed home to watch Wendell Carter Jr. We're going to talk about Wendell Carter Jr. in a minute, but let me get my man Isaiah on the line. Isaiah, what's popping, bro?
What's going on, Sim?
I'm chilling, man.
Blackest time. I'm just leaving my boy's house, watching the game. What's going on, man? What are we talking about?
We talk about we were talking about Kyrie to the Knicks in 2019, but we moved on, and we talking about Wendell Carter Jr., who worked out for the Knicks today. You know, I mean, I have. You know, so I know we'll probably go back to Kyrie because some people probably, when they call in, want to get their word in about Kyrie. But what do you think about Wendell Carter Jr.?
I like him. I mean, he's not my first or second choice. He's like my third or fourth choice.
Okay.
When it comes to picking, but you know, I'll say this: if Mikal, Miles, and Michael Porter Jr. off the board, I'll probably take Wendell.
Okay. From what I understand and from his interview, Wendell Carter, I guess the Knicks put him through a series of defensive drills. What do you take from that? Do you think that's just because he's a big man? That's it is standard for them to put their big man through defensive drills, closeout drills, those type of things, to see if he can protect the rim, see if he can be someone to help protect KP, or is that something that they see as a weakness of his, so they wanted to see it a little bit more?
I think it's a mixture of everything you just said because, you know, we got to protect KP and you got to make sure he's mobile. And the way this league is going, as you just seen in the NBA Finals, a big man wasn't really present in the finals.
So, I mean, JaVale McGee did some things.
Yeah, he did some things, but, I think it's just about seeing, because I think the Knicks are, and I'm happy the Knicks are moving away from this. They're moving away from single-minded offensive players and looking at defensive players, because, like, we've been through this whole 9 yards of just getting offensive players. We need to get players that play defense, that are committed, that are Fizdale type of guys that play defense, that play hard. We need those type of guys right now to establish the culture that we want to build. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. True.
Because, like, we know, like I said, we've been through this road 20 years of having players that just care about offense, and they had mediocre offenses with no defensive effort. That's not going to work with us, and that's not going to work in this league no more. The league's not going that way no more. Yeah, you got to play some type of defense. You know what I'm saying? Or either you got to play some type of defense, or you got to be so good offensively that you can hide the defense. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like
true.
There's a lot of point guards, or there's a lot of players that are really, really good on offense that you can say, okay, we can hide it because you're so good on offense that it covers up your defense. You know?
Right. It makes the other team has such trouble guarding you. You know that it makes your defensive woes almost non-existent.
Yeah.
You know, if you have to guard me and I'm crazy offensively, you might get so tired of guarding me that you have a hard time on the other side of the floor. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Yeah, for real. Well, yeah, and you're definitely going to need a protector, but you got to have a protector that can guard the perimeter, right? Mm-hmm. And also someone who can stretch the floor. Your big man has to be able to stretch the floor nowadays. That's just the way the game is. I seen somebody on Twitter earlier say, should the Knicks take a chance on Jahlil Okafor, right? No, and listen, I know he'd come cheap and things like that, but the game has passed Jahlil Okafor by. He is an old school center. That's the same issue with Enes Kanter. And the reason why I don't think that Kanter is going to do as well under Coach Fizdale, because Coach Fizdale has a different philosophy on how we need to play the game. Not a different philosophy, but his philosophy and style of play is the same reason that him and Marc Gasol had some issues. You know what I mean? And I think it's going to be the same thing with Kanter, unless Kanter can expand his game.
Yeah, because like I was going to agree with you, because we basically have a Jahlil Okafor on the team already. That's Kanter.
Basically,
they do the exact same thing. So we don't really need it. But you know what's crazy? Something that I read today, that it wouldn't sound so crazy. Did you hear about what Kenyon Martin said?
Yeah, I heard Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin's always saying, he says stuff for shock value.
Yeah,
that kind of dude.
I know it was shock value, but it kind of, I heard, and somebody made a comment that made sense. Someone said, with KP Frank, the 9th pick, and a free agent, that's not a bad squad. Wait. But I know it's
not a bad squad, but it's not ready to be a championship squad.
Yeah. It was a little interesting. I was like, that's interesting.
I mean, listen. I feel like this with LeBron. If he's going to leave Cleveland, if he's going to be on a team that's not championship ready, he's going to be in Cleveland. If he's going to leave Cleveland, he's going to a championship ready squad. I do not see him going to a team that needs to build a squad around him. He doesn't have that amount of time. He just doesn't have enough time for that. So if any team that's getting LeBron, you better be prepared to trade some of your young guys, trade some of your draft picks to put a squad around him. You know what I mean? You better be prepared to do that. If that's not your philosophy, if that's not where you want to be as a team, then don't sign LeBron. You know what I mean? Because if I can guarantee you, any team that LeBron is interviewing with, LeBron is going to ask, what is your plans to get to the championship, to the NBA Finals this season, or 2018, 2019? What is your plan to get there 2018, 2019? If I'm LeBron, that's what I'm asking, and I'm pretty sure that's what him and his team is going to ask. What is your plan to get me there to the NBA Finals in 2019? You don't have a plan, I'm not even looking your way.
No, definitely, because and the Knicks don't want to go through that, man. They don't want to go through that.
No, they don't want to go through that.
For all LeBron greatness, I will say this: he'll get you to the finals, but he will ruin your future if you want to plan ahead.
Yeah, that's my big thing. Somebody sent me a message on Twitter and said, he said, you're a basketball coach, but you don't want the best player in the world. I responded like, yeah, you're right. I don't want the best player in the world, because with LeBron, you got to be prepared to win right now and your window to win the championship is 2 to 3 years, with LeBron the age he is now, it's 2 to 3 years, and then you're not going to be sustainable. If you look at any team, every team that LeBron has left, they became significantly worse. As a matter of fact, they became amongst the worst in that conference. Why? Because you have to construct your team around LeBron James. Everything runs off of LeBron James, sometimes with veterans, sometimes with young guys. And when he leaves, you do not have that centerpiece.
Because, I mean, if you look at him now, if he leaves, Tristan Thompson's on a crazy contract, Zhaire Smith's on a crazy contract, Kevin Love on a contract, Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood, this Kyle Korver, you know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And not one of these guys I think Rodney Hood's like the youngest. Jordan Clarkson's the youngest. Yeah. And those guys are not. And those guys are. They're not even that good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like LeBron James is a killer for your future.
Yeah. You know. Listen, if LeBron James, hypothetically speaking, if he came to the Knicks, you might be a title contender. You know him. KP, when KP got back, and then I'm sure the Knicks would have to put some veterans around them, and maybe you're let me not say a title contender, you're an Eastern Conference championship contender, right? That's not enough. You know what I mean? And any team that he goes to is probably going to be a conference title contender if it's in the East. At least for the next 2 to 3 years, it's going to be like that for LeBron. But then, and then let's say you do get out of the East and go to the NBA Finals. You got to face the Warriors or the Rockets, right? And you probably do not have enough firepower on your squad. Maybe if you went to Boston. But then I don't think that works because Kyrie is going to be like, wait a minute, I left Cleveland to get away from this dude. Now you bring him here, right? So, I don't know. I mean, things are more limited than I think you would expect with LeBron James, and I do not think that teams are clamoring the way that they were back in 2010. They're not clamoring for him the same way because, he's a little bit older, and they see what's happened, and teams have a different idea now, a lot of teams, about building something that's way more sustainable. And I hope the Knicks are on that type of trajectory. So, yeah.
One thing before I leave, I'm going to tell you this right now. NBA teams, they're following Boston and Golden State way of doing things. They ain't following the way LeBron do. LeBron way of doing things is about to be done. They're following Boston and Golden State with things, the way of doing things.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it.
Right. It is. And that's because LeBron's way, or the way that they did it in Miami, let's put it like that, the way that they did it in Miami is not sustainable for long-term success.
4 years max.
Yeah, if LeBron would have stayed in Miami for a while, then maybe it would have been. But that's not LeBron's style. It's not who LeBron is. I don't think he ever had plans to stay in Miami for the remainder of his career. I don't think he ever did. Yeah. Hey, Isaiah, thank you for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna see you say you still don't know if you're going to the draft, right?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm about to buy my tickets tomorrow. So I'm gonna be up there. Yeah, I'll be up there sitting in the cheap seats.
Oh yeah, bro, I'm gonna be right with you. We all gotta take wherever going, man. We gotta take a big group picture, man.
That's what's up, for sure. We'll link up when we get there.
Yeah, I'll call you when I get out there.
All right, that's what's up, man.
All right, man, be good.
All right, peace. Yeah, the whole LeBron thing, man. It's just not. And we're gonna get back to Wendell Carter in a little bit. We're gonna talk about Wendell Carter. But the whole LeBron thing is not for me right now. You know what I mean? Ron Martinez, what's popping, bro?
What's up, bro? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah, for sure. So,
Yeah, man,
what's on your mind, man?
Well, I was watching when you was talking to your last call. I was watching the press conference with LeBron. So you kind of was already some of the stuff that you was mentioning. He was already they were already asking him already about it. Obviously, the media can't wait. First question was, they said, we know that it's kind of early, but they already asking him, do you think this is your last game? And he told the media straight up. He says, I don't know. He said that his family's going to play a big role as to what path he's going to take.
Right.
So he mentioned the fact that he has a teenager, he has a preteen, he has a little girl, and he said that that's going to make a big, and his wife, that's going to determine what path he's going to take. And I agree with you. He's not going to go somewhere where it's going to be a total rebuild at this stage of his career. So
yeah,
I doubt it. But believe it or not, Stephen A. Smith, I don't know if you saw it. He said that I guess he has a source that told him that LeBron is going to talk to Boston.
Wow.
Stephen A. Smith was the one that actually broke the story that he was going to Miami before anybody heard about it. So that means there's some chatter going on in the background, bro.
Yeah. Listen. Why would he not speak to Boston? You know what I mean? Because think about this.
Yeah.
You got Golden State in the West that is unbeatable. Mm-hmm. You got Boston and Cleveland in the East. If he joins up with Boston, there's no doubt about it that they're coming out of the East. And they will be, and they will have a chance to beat Golden State.
And they got youth on their side.
Right.
They got a young squad over there.
Yeah. Yep. The thing is, how will Kyrie feel about that?
Well, I don't know if I sent you an article that came out today. Yeah. I sent it to your Twitter account because there's an article that came out today. I think it was from the Post about Kyrie Irving, that even when he was in Cleveland, that his first option, he said that if he cannot get traded, that it's almost a guarantee he's going to try to sign with the Knicks as a free agent.
Right. And I read that. We talked about that. A little bit earlier.
Yep. But see, now everything changes because, again, this is what happened when you have LeBron. As much as, and trust me, you and I, we both on the same page. I don't wave pom-poms for LeBron. I respect his game. But, just the fact the way he was talking to the media the other day about how the media don't know anything about talent, that this is a mismatch, his antics on the bench. Even today, he was going crazy. He was coming unglued on the bench today with those players. So you can tell he's frustrated. He's big time frustrated. And of course, it just came out tonight that after game one that he injured his hand after losing game one, that he punched a blackboard, and he's been dealing with some kind of an injury, but they didn't want to tell the press because they didn't want to use that as an excuse. Right. Right. But he injured out of that first game. They say he punched the blackboard. But yeah, bro. I think right now, if I was Kyrie, I'd be frustrated right now. I'm like, dang, I just did everything I could to get away from this dude, and this dude's gonna come where I'm at. And most likely there's gonna be a chat is like, hey, if I come to Boston, what you gonna do with Kyrie? Kyrie's like, Kyrie's gonna ask for a trade. You know that. He might.
Right. He might.
I don't see Kyrie.
He might ask for a trade and then just let his contract, and then opt out, because he can opt out in 2019. He has an opt-out clause.
But the thing is this, and we spoke about this before, again, the Knicks have to be reflected that a lot of weird things can happen. And the thing is, they said that if Cleveland wants to make a move, they have to get an answer from LeBron by draft. Because they says that once they draft that player, they said the value of that pick drops if LeBron has not given them an answer by draft night. So they said that they said that basically the value of that pick is only so good until LeBron. If LeBron decides to say, "Hey, I'll talk to you guys in the summer," then that draft pick, the value drops, and he could basically hold the franchise hostage the whole summer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But then again, what happens if Kyrie says, "Hey, you know what? If we're not saying it's happening, but what happens if Kyrie says, call New York, make a trade with New York. I'm out of here. I don't care what it takes. Trade me to New York. You know, I'll take less, whatever, you know. And then in New York, it's like, okay, we want to get a draft. And right now, you know, I mean, it's a toss-up. It's like we got a 9th pick. What happens? They ask you for either one, Frank or that draft pick. I mean, I know.
Okay, now
say,
check
hey,
this out. Now, let me ask you in the chat this, because I see, and I even said it earlier. You know, don't do a trade for Kyrie because you know you're gonna have to give up something young. But what if LeBron says, he tells Cleveland, I'm opting out. And Boston knows that they need to clear some money for LeBron James.
Yep. And
they are willing to take. No, that wouldn't even work because Kanter would have to opt out this year. So that's out of the question. I was going to say they're willing to take Kanter. If Kanter is opting out, they're willing to take Kanter for Kyrie.
I'll give you something better.
Because the money would match.
I'll give you something better. And this happens all the time. What happens is the Knicks say, listen, we're not giving up our pick, or we're not giving Frank. Or matter of fact, let's say they ask for Frank or the pick, whichever one it is, Frank or the 9th pick. But they say, listen, we'll make the trade with you, Boston, but you need to take Noah's contract. And Boston said, bet. We'll take him, and then we'll just cut him. Because you know, Boston could make that trade, and they can just do a buyout. You know, they could just do a buyout trade. What happens?
But they still gotta have money to take. They still gotta have money under the cap to be able to take them in.
Right, but the thing is that Danny Ainge, like all these owners, they I mean, just like Houston right now, Houston's in the same situation where right now they're saying that Chris Paul wants a max contract. Well, right now, you know, Chris Paul, he may say, listen, I want a max contract. Well, brother, you got hurt. I don't know if we're going to give you that max contract, but then they say, well, we got LeBron lingering out there. But the thing is, does LeBron really want to go to Houston? Does he really want to go to the West? But the way he made it sound is that his family's going to determine where he's going to go. So what does that mean? Does that mean he has a home in L.A.? But again, does he really want to go to the Lakers? The Lakers are not nowhere winning. They're not winning the championship next year.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. You know, people in the chat say we pipe dreaming. Hey, but listen.
Yeah, but it's business. It's business.
The thing is, it is definitely business because let's just say if Enes Kanter is holding us hostage for a lot of things right now. To tell you the truth,
that's frustrating as hell. Bro.
It is because if Kanter decides that he's going to opt out, people might say this is a pipe dream. But in the NBA, things like this can happen. I don't care what people say. You can call it a pipe dream all you want. Things can happen in the NBA. We've seen it. We've witnessed it. Things that we've said is not going to happen has happened. Right?
Right.
Let's just say tomorrow, Kanter says, I'm opting out. Then LeBron says, you know what? I don't mind. He gets to word to Boston, yeah, I'll take an interview because I'm really interested. Because I see you guys as the only way that I can truly compete with the Warriors, which is the truth. Right?
Right.
Then the Celtics look at the Knicks and say, okay, Kanter makes $18 million a year, so does Kyrie Irving. We can free up $20 million right now so that we can $20 million is a big chunk of what we're going to need to sign LeBron James.
Right.
We can free it up right now if we make this trade.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
hey, I'm not saying that that's going to happen. Obviously, people. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying the possibilities are there, and people look and say, "Oh, you're pipe dreaming," but possibilities in the NBA happen. It happens.
But you know what, Simeon? This is one thing that people have to understand in the chat. You know, we fans, we don't work for an organization. But when you're a GM, you're president, if you don't dream, like what did the owners of the Golden State Warriors say? He goes, we dreamed this. We didn't think it was going to happen, but we had a dream. So in other words, he says there was no guarantee that they were going to win these championships. They said we had a dream of what we wanted to do, but we never thought. They were honest. They're like, we never thought it would be like this. So in other words, yes, it's a pipe dream. But guess what? If you don't make an effort, now I'm not saying we're going to do it, but the Knicks will make an effort. Guess what, brother? We'll be the next 10, 15 years looking at everybody else win championships. And Mark Jackson said it tonight. He says the rest of the league has to catch up. Golden State put the whole league on notice. You guys got to catch up with us. That's the bottom line.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying that we have to sign a bunch of free agents, but at the end of the day, when LeBron went to Miami, they all took a pay cut. D-Wade took a pay cut. LeBron took a pay cut. Chris Bosh, that's the only way they were able to do it.
Yeah.
You know? So right now, is this either about money or this is about what? Because people say, "Oh, what about his legacy?" I don't even know if LeBron's even worried about that. I think right now he just want to win. He don't care where he goes. He don't care. And Brian Windhorst, which is the guy he's been following this guy since high school. He said that everything's on the table. They asked him about Golden State. He goes, I would not even work. They asked him, you think he will talk to Kevin Durant? He says, because I think Kevin Durant could opt out this summer too.
Yeah, I mean, listen. You just never know. Hey, Kevin Durant to the Warriors was a pipe dream.
Right.
It was a pipe dream. Right? They didn't even have the money when they spoke to him.
Right.
They found after, they spoke to him, they found a way to get the money. They found a way to make it happen. It was a pipe dream. You just never know. You know what I mean? Okay. And that's the reason why, when you're a GM, just like you're saying, you got to keep your eyes open, understand what all the possibilities are. How if this crazy scenario were to happen, how would we make money? Right. That's what you got to do.
So let me ask you something right now, right off the bat. Which is the championship-ready team right now that if LeBron went there, you can say they can give Golden State a run for the money if he signed with them, even though it's a fantasy. We're playing fantasy basketball here right now.
I think it's two of them. There's two of them, Houston and Boston.
What about San Antonio?
Yeah, no? Maybe, let's throw San Antonio in there. Because, hey, if Kawhi Leonard decides he's out, right, and a trade needs to happen, now you can do a sign and trade. I don't know what the salary cap, you can't do a sign and trade if you're over the salary cap. So we'd have to see what the salary cap looked like.
Okay, Steven, so I'm going to put you on the seat. You're the GM right now. You're the Knicks GM. You're the president. Put your GM and president hat right now. You get a meeting with LeBron on a DL. Mm-hmm. LeBron says, listen, I'm not crazy about Dolan, but I got on speed dial, I got KD and I got Kawhi on speed dial. I can bring one of those guys with me to New York. You want to talk?
I'm talking. I'm sorry. I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking. I'm talking all day long. I'm like, let's get on this conference call right now.
Oh, you want to talk about the process? You want to talk about the process?
Hey, he called me up. I said, listen, I got go-to meeting. I will fire up go-to meeting right now. Get your webcams ready. Let's talk. You got to.
If Fizdale goes into office and says, listen, guy, I just got off the phone with LeBron. He wants a one-on-one. And he says he got two guys right now speed dial. And they were like, who is it? KD and Kawhi. They want to talk. What's up? What do you do?
You got to do it. And just imagine if I said no, we got our process. This is what we're doing. I'm not doing it. Right?
Yeah, we're in the youth movement right now.
We're in the youth movement. You guys are too old. And
Come
then
on, man.
2-3 months later, it comes out that I declined that conversation. I'd probably get fired.
The media will crucify them.
Ridiculously.
The New York media will crucify those boys down there.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, and I know, people in the chat are all over us, and clearly, I like the process that we're doing, right? But the point is, as a GM, you do have to keep your eyes open for every possible scenario that could be out there. You just have to. If you're not doing your job, and you have to put yourself in a situation to capitalize on different opportunities that could become available. That's the bottom line. That's the whole point, people. That's the whole point.
And your job as the president as your GM, what's your job at each summer? Your job is to improve your team. If you have a great team, if that's the case, did Golden State really need KD? Well, it depends how you look at it. It should be LeBron, maybe, but Golden State had won 72 games before they got KD. So most people were like, why did you pick up? But now you can see why. At any given night, if this guy has an off night, you got another go-to guy.
Right. So I mean, it is what it is, man. You got to keep your eyes open for all scenarios and prepare for scenarios. Yeah. It's in the back of your mind, you may be saying, listen, this probably isn't going to happen. But let's prepare for it. If it happens, great. If not, then we're prepared to capitalize on everything else. You know what I mean?
I know the Knicks will be a situation where they will kick themselves because we already know, like I brought it to you before, if you can play for the Cleveland owner, you can play for Dolan because the Dolan never did. There's nothing personal there between him. I know with the situation with Charles Oakley, but that's different. That's, but we're talking about business here. Yeah. And of course, these guys, they all want max contracts. They want to get paid. But at the end of the day, when you start getting towards the end of your career, it's probably not. First of all, LeBron has money that his kids won't be able to spend. So it's not about he has money that his kids won't. So I don't think right now about the contract. I think right now he wants a situation where, hey, I don't have to carry this team if I have an off night. And, so right now, you think about it, it's a pipe dream. It's like, trust me, with the NBA, I know how everybody reacted. They find out this guy went to the goal. I know LeBron's not going to go to the Golden State, but just imagine crazy like that. They'll be rioting in the streets. They'll be like, what is this? You going to join? And, I know, right? And of course, if you thought KD got heat, LeBron, they will crucify him. If you go to the team that swept the season, so I don't see Golden State happen. I just cannot see it happening. No. Now, San Antonio, yes. Boston, yes. I can see those two possibilities.
I can see that.
Just a 5% or 3% chance that if the Knicks got that call, who knows what happens if things don't work out with Boston and Fizdale was like, listen, I got a history with this dude. If you guys make a couple of moves, he got somebody on speed dial right now.
You know what? You never know. Hey, Ron, man, thank you for the call. And some of these people in the chat, jump on in the chat, because some of these guys in the chat, they smacking us up right now. I know. But hey, it's all good.
But I mean, those same guys that play fantasy football and they have all kind of they do that on the Xbox. They put their own teams together on the Xbox. So
exactly,
they do it on their downtime. Hey, Simi, before I leave, this is other chat that I watch, but it's not sports related. It's a tech YouTube channel, and he does what you do. But what he does sometimes is he does I know you talked about this before. He does a Google chat like once or twice a week, and he brings 2 or 3 other people, and they all on video chat.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do that. Definitely, I'm gonna try to do that. Yeah.
Google chat, but he sets it up, so it's cool. But either way, I mean the show's still hot anyway. So, but I'll let you go because you guys will call us. But hey, I know everybody's gonna be smacking us around on the chat. But hey, you know what?
They are.
If the media is talking about it, there's got to be some kind of chatter going on.
Something somewhere for real. Something somewhere. All right, man. Appreciate it, man. All right, peace.
Bro. All right, peace. Later.
Yeah, hey, man. Listen, guys. The NBA is about opportunities. And you got to capitalize on those opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And I know everyone's looking in there saying, oh, that can't happen. That won't happen. That'll never happen. We said the same thing about Miami. Right? That was a pipe dream. KD to Golden State, that was a pipe dream. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying, as a GM, your job is to prepare for all possibilities, put your team in a position to capitalize on opportunities. That's what you do. That's what you do as a GM. And sometimes you got to make those tough decisions as well. You might get a call from someone, a great free agent, to say, I want to come to your team. And this is what I know can happen. How can you make this happen? Hey, you're a GM. You got to be prepared to make those kind of decisions. And it's kind of nice to dream once in a while. But I'm going to be honest with you. That whole thing with LeBron going to Boston and then Kyrie being upset because he ran away from LeBron and now LeBron is following him to Boston opens up a lot of doors. And it makes GMs around the league think. And if you have space and you have the opportunity, because listen, just think about it like this and I'm going to leave it alone. All right. If LeBron decided he wanted to go to Boston and they didn't really have the money, and I don't know what their salary situation looks like, but they didn't really have the money. But they knew that they could trade Kyrie, his $18 million, to somebody who has an expiring contract of $18 million and they can free up $18 million by trading Kyrie, that puts them one step closer to signing LeBron James, knowing that they'll have LeBron James, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, all those guys. That puts them one step closer. Right now, they'll probably do it. And other teams will understand, you know what? Boston needs me more than I need them. So no, I'm not giving up a draft pick for Kyrie. You either take this trade to free up this cap money or forget a lot about LeBron. That's just smart business. So they wouldn't have to give up the farm. You wouldn't have to give up, if it were the Knicks, let's just say, and as Cantor and Frank and the 9th pick to get Kyrie. Right? Because they're in more of a desperate situation than you are at the moment. Because they want LeBron James. And they need to free up the cap space. Just saying. That's the way that it works. It could be the Knicks. It could be any other team. But it works that way. And if that happens to another team, if Enes Kanter opts out, and then another team makes that same exact deal with Boston to get Kyrie, everyone's going to cry and be mad. How come the Knicks weren't in the situation? How come the Knicks couldn't make that trade? How come the Knicks couldn't do it? Just saying. Asim, what's popping, bro? What's popping with you, man?
Hey, Simi, how you doing? I just want to say a good shout out to the whole chat. I've really been enjoying the show tonight.
Appreciate it.
You know, this is, I want to say this is probably one of the weirdest. This is probably going to be one of the weirdest summers when it comes to free agent and moving pieces. And it's always weird when LeBron is in that year to opt out and he's thinking about changing teams and whatnot. This is going to be a very weird year. Mm-hmm. You brought up some really good points about Kyrie Irving. First of all, Kyrie, he's what? He's like 20, what is he, 27, 26, 27?
I think Kyrie is 25 and is going to be 26. Let's see. Let's check him out.
Because I'm thinking about his. He's got some really bad knees issues, but you know what? So does Stephen Curry. But I mean, he produces. They both produce. And as far as like you said, I like that scenario with if LeBron tries to get with Boston, that they're gonna have to trade some money away, some contracts away. Kyrie might be the odd person out because of that situation down there in Cleveland. And like you said, you could leverage Boston if they want LeBron. And because I'm not willing to give up the whole farm in order to make it happen.
Right, and so look, this is what I'm saying. Right now, I have Boston's salaries up. So Boston's team payroll is $115 million this year, 2017, 2018. Right, next year, 2018, 2019. Right now, they're slated to pay out $107 million, which is over the salary cap. Mm-hmm. So they'll have to free up money if they wanted to sign LeBron James. So where do they move? Who do they move? Right? How do they free up that money?
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and if you look at their salary, the only guys that they can really move to free up that money, Gordon Hayward is $31 million. In 2018-19.
I was about to ask about him. Now, mind you, he didn't play. He played for like 3 or 4 minutes before he got hurt at the beginning of the season.
Right. So he's $31 million, and he's signed until 2019, 2020, where he has a player option. Al Horford makes $29 million next year. Kyrie makes $20 million next year. Right. Then Jason Tatum, he's not going anywhere. Greg Monroe is a free agent, so you're going to free up $5 million. But still, you're still at $107 million, even with Greg Monroe gone. You got Marcus Morris. You got Jaylen Brown. He's probably not going anywhere. You got Marcus Smart. Maybe they could move. You do a qualifying offer for Marcus Smart. You can deny. You can decide you're not going to bring back Marcus Smart if LeBron James wanted to go there, so you can free up that $6 million. You don't have a lot of moves that you can make. But the one move that you can make, if you are afraid that Kyrie Irving is not going to come back, is you can find a way to move Kyrie Irving for an expiring contract. You free up $20 million here. You do not sign Marcus Smart. You release him. You release his contract, whatever it is. That's another $6 million. That's $26 million right there. All right. So now you got to try to find a way to find another $4 million somewhere. Mm-hmm. Right. So that you can pay him what he deserves, whatever he's going to make, $4 to $5 million, $6 million. You got to find a way to make that up someplace, somewhere, somehow. And then you got to find a way to make that money up.
Well, then at that point in time, now we're talking about players restructuring their contracts in order to make it work.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how that works. But you got to find that they'll have to do some maneuvering, and the way to free up a big chunk of that money is to move one of these three players. You free up a big chunk of that money if you want to get LeBron James. That's the way to do it. So it's not as far-fetched as some people might think, right? Because Kyrie makes $18 million this year. So if you're trading Kyrie Irving this year, which is what it would have to be done before July 1st, right? If you were trading Kyrie Irving this year, you'd be trading $18.8 million.
See, here's the problem here. And I don't know what the Knicks, because if you're trying to free up that money, then I still see Cantor opting in wherever he's at.
True.
So that's going to be a problem for Boston right there.
That's right. True. And see, Cantor makes $17.8 million. You can trade that with that Kyrie 18.8. And the only way that would ever work, obviously, is if Cantor says, I am going to opt out of this contract. And then you can make that trade. And then he opts out of that contract. Then he opts out of the contract and he doesn't play for Boston. That is the only way that it could happen. And that's so clearly, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm not saying the Knicks should try to make this happen, because it is all based on Cantor. So Cantor kind of is holding the Knicks hostage this year right now, because if Cantor says that he's going to opt out, then the Knicks have a plethora of options that open up to them. They could save the money for free agency. They can decide to trade Cantor maybe to the Denver Nuggets to get that 14th pick. Or if something like this were to happen with Boston and whatever during that draft time when people are negotiating, then you can do something like that. I'm just saying that's the way that it could work. But if LeBron is going to interview with Boston, they must find a way to free up $30 million in order to sign LeBron James. So,
there's no doubt about that, And then here's another option. Let me ask a question. Can they, even if they made trade, can they stretch? Can they stretch him out? Can they just stretch out Cantor if they was to make that happen?
I mean, could they stretch Cantor out?
I mean, would it be worth it?
Could Boston stretch Cantor out? Is that what you're saying? Could they make the trade and then they stretch out the remaining $18 million over 5 years? What's that, about $3 million, $4 million a year? Yeah. Maybe they could. Maybe they could.
And then they make some other maneuvers. I mean, once you do something like that, you already got a big chunk of $15 million right there.
$15 million.
You make some other. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, then you got to find another $15 million or so, though.
But I mean, that would be a start. But I'm just, I just, it's like I said, when LeBron, when he's going through free agency, it's always a funny. It's always a funny year. Now, I mean, now that I hear that Kyrie's 25.
26, my bad. I looked it up. He's 26.
Yeah, I thought he was like 26, 27. But he's still young enough to where he could fit in with the youth movement for the Knicks. I don't know. You just never know what's going to happen. I don't see LeBron. I don't really see anybody. I don't see really anybody trying to come to the Knicks as a free agent. And another thing, too, don't put it past the Cavs trying to do a sign and trade for LeBron.
A sign and trade for LeBron?
As far as that way they don't lose. They
don't totally lose them.
Exactly.
Right now, there are some restrictions about the sign and trade. I don't know exactly what it is, but you can't be over the cap and do a sign and trade. You've got to be under the cap.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be under the cap to do a sign and trade, and I'm not sure if you had to be under the cap in the following year or right now. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but yeah, you got to be under the cap to do a sign and trade.
Well, that's the business when you mess with certain players like that. Like you say, you got to have the people that surround that type of player, and then when he leaves you, then he leaves you on dire. He's going to leave them in worse. He's going to leave them in worse shape than he did the first time.
He's going to leave them in rough shape. The good thing is that they got that 8th pick.
Yeah, they might just want to go ahead and just worry about that 8th pick and then figure out what LeBron James is going to do afterwards, and just worry about the future. And I was about to say the same thing for the Knicks. I mean, right at this point in time, right now, I would just be worrying about what's going on with this 9th pick to see if we're going to trade down or whatever pick.
Way to push me over there with that 9th pick, because that's what and I'm pretty sure that's what the Knicks are worried about. They're worried about the 9th pick. But while they're looking at the 9th pick, I'm sure they're talking to teams and negotiating. But the Knicks interviewed Wendell Carter. I mean, not interviewed. They took him out to dinner. They had a workout with Wendell Carter Jr. Today or yesterday, Friday. Mm-hmm. When we started talking about Wendell Carter Jr. earlier, but then we got back into the Kyrie Irving thing. But let's give this guy a little bit of attention.
I'm very high on him. I'm very, very high on
very
that
high on
guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a 7'5" wingspan. So now we're talking about protecting the basket. He's going to give Kristaps Porzingis some help. Then on top of that, he's got a little jumper and he shoots threes. So he's going to open up the floor. I think that's Fizdale type of player that can help the team out immediately.
Yeah. He's power forward / center, 6'10", 250 pounds. He's from Fairburn, Georgia. I didn't know that. I stayed in Fairburn, Georgia last year at a basketball tournament. I was about to stay there again today. That's funny to know. I might have been right next to the dude. Didn't even know it.
Didn't even know it.
Yeah, it's crazy. NBADraft.net, they have his athleticism as 8, size at 8, defense at 7, quickness at 6, strength at 8, leadership, jump shot, NBA ready are all at 8, rebounding at 9. Potential, post skills are at 8, and his intangibles are at 9 for a rating of 95 overall.
Oh man, that's perfect. That's perfect for Fizdale to get that boy in shape to how he wants him, and I think it's great for the Knicks. Look, I think either Mikal or Wendell Carter is great for the Knicks. I'm really actually more higher on Wendell because, like I said, I still have my concern on how far Mikal's his ceiling is. That's my main issue with him. But I believe he's going to be a star. But is he going to be in a role? I mean, like, is he going to, it's going to be a second option? Or I don't know what he's going to. I don't know
Mikal.
how it's going to be exactly.
In the long run with Mikal, I don't know if he ends up being a second option. Honestly, I think he ends up being a Trevor Ariza.
That's exactly what I was saying. They got him compared to Otto Porter Jr.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen some comparisons to Otto Porter Jr. And when you're talking about a 9th pick, are you talking about something that somebody you could plug in there? Or are you talking about somebody that's a difference maker? And I look at Wendell Carter Jr. that could really significantly help. That could help the Knicks at this point in time. If that boy falls down to us, I'm jumping all over him.
Wendell Carter.
Oh yes.
Okay. He's got a 7'3" wingspan, a 9-foot standing reach.
Yes.
He's definitely got the physical tools.
We're talking about instant protection for the rim that helps out Kristaps. That he's free to go do some other things. He can still come off the weak side for protection as well, but he knows that he doesn't have to do everything for protecting that basket because now he's got not to mention we got to worry about a person that's gonna replace Cantor because he's definitely not in the long-term plans.
Yeah, he's not, and I think replacing Cantor is going to be more of a guy. When they replace him, I think they want to replace him with someone who's longer and lanky, can play defense, especially out on the perimeter, can block shots from the weak side. You know, I think that's what they're going to be looking at when they replace Cantor. That's what they should be looking at, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. And right now with this positionless basketball, and I look at Wendell. He's very athletic. I love his athleticism. I love athleticism. I'm just telling you right now that if because there's always a chance that Mikal gets picked before he gets to the ninth to our spot. And if Wendell is there, I'm jumping all over him. That's exactly what I would do. I would jump all over Wendell because I believe he helps us out in the long run more so than Mikal, because I'm still concerned about his ceiling. And I believe that Wendell could do a lot more as far as really opening up. I mean, when Mikal opens up, he does open it up because of his shot, his defense. But when you're talking about a rim protector, a person that could come out and I can still shoot the three and come off the weak side and still play defense, could protect the rim. I mean, this guy, you let Fizdale get a hold of him. We don't know what we're going to get with him.
Yeah. Okay.
He's starting to make it, and just the perfect compliment piece for Kristaps.
I think so.
And oh yeah,
okay.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you another person that we shouldn't sleep on either, and that's Kevin Knox.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Knox works out for the Knicks this weekend.
Exactly. So maybe they try to make some scenarios to try to trade down in order to get him as well. Because I still believe I believe his formula. We're talking about maybe a point forward. I don't know. If he you work with him. I mean, I believe that's his potential. So, I'm just, there's a lot of obvious choices there. But Mikal, of course, he's going to, be ready to plug in right away. But like I said, I look at the long haul because I don't see us doing any. I mean, I listen to everybody, but I'm still trying to prepare the team for long-term success. And at this point in time, I'm just looking at what's going to help us out the most, who's going to be there, this, that, and the other. And I'm just going to keep going on with the youth movement. And of course, like you said, some people call. You got to take the phone call. As far as you've got to. There's no doubt about that. So, but at the point in time, my mind frame is I'm still worrying about this youth movement, and I keep it going. So, but I know you let me go because we've been on here for almost 20 minutes. But
that's cool though. That's all right. That's all right. No wrong with that.
I just want to say I really appreciated the fact that you allowed me to come on, and I appreciate everybody allowing me to sit back and listen to what I have to say. But it's been a very interesting show, and mark my words, it's going to be a very weird summer when it comes to free agency and this, that, and the other, and even the picks. It's going to be very weird as well. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be an interesting summer for the league, for the Knicks, for the league. It's going to be very, very interesting.
One more question: Does the salary cap go up this year, or what? Or we got to wait till next year?
I'm not sure what the salary cap is going to be. Now they need to release. I don't know if they have released anything, but
because that kind of
they've got to release at least a projection, and I think they did.
That kind of
release a projection. Let's see if I see if I can find something.
Yeah, that kind of helps out Boston.
So reportedly projected the salary cap would be 101 million 2018, 108 million in 2019. So next summer. So this summer, 2018 to 2019, it's going to be 101 million. That makes Boston still $6 million over the salary cap.
Yeah.
For next year. Yeah.
But I see that next year. I see why everybody's targeting next year with the salary cap going up to 108 million. There's gonna be a lot more contracts off there.
Exactly.
And, so it's gonna be very weird. It's gonna be a very, very weird summer, and it's gonna get really interesting. And you're gonna see a lot of teams preparing for next summer. They're gonna be trying to dump. They're gonna be trying to dump stuff left and right.
Right. Yep. It's gonna be It's gonna be an interesting summer, man.
And
I
just hope that we're not the garbage truck to take all these these crazy contracts.
Right. I hope so. I hope so. Hope not. I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate the call, man.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I got you Tuesday. We said Tuesday, Thursday, and
Tuesdays,
Saturdays,
Thursdays, and Sundays.
Oh, Sundays. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be doing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and of course, in between there, if there's any other things, I might put out like short videos or something like that in between there. Or if something happens, then I'm gonna jump on for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man.
Well, I appreciate the time as usual, and I'll call back.
Definitely appreciate it.
All right, now
Peace.
Take care. Peace.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hot summer, man. It's gonna be a hot summer for the New York Knicks. Now, speaking of Kevin Knox, and we talked about Wendell Carter Jr. Working out for the Knicks, did a lot of defensive drills. Is he the guy for the Knicks? I don't know. That can be, could not be. Listen, I mean, he's a young guy. He's talented. I do like that he seems very, very smart. The kid could have went to Harvard. Does that always translate to being a high IQ basketball player? Not always. Not always, but he could be. We'll see. Maybe he is the guy that fits next to KP. You know what? His style, a player with his style could fit next to KP. I think. At least his style. Is he that guy? I don't know. He's talented, though. I'm not going to say he's not talented. I think he's talented, but is he the guy that's going to fit next to KP? That's the question. Saturday workouts. A lot of workouts today. Right? It's 1:31 in the morning on the East Coast. A lot of workouts. Got some guys coming through Westchester to work out for the Knicks. Let's see, who do we have in our Saturday workouts? Saturday workouts. We got Kevin Knox, Hamidou Diallou, Miles Bridges, Zhaire Smith. Solid workout schedule for this weekend. Kevin Knox is a guy that a lot of people like. Of course, we talked about him a little bit in the last show. John Calipari is high, very high on Kevin Knox. You know what I mean? And obviously he is, because he played for him. And he believes that Kevin Knox would fit in with the New York Knicks very well. And he believes that Kevin Knox in the long run, while Mikal Bridges is better than Kevin Knox now and will be better than Kevin Knox coming into the league next year, probably, most likely. He believes that Kevin Knox is going to be better than him in the long run. In the long run, 3 years down the line, it's going to be Kevin Knox, who is better than Mikal Bridges. I see some of you guys say that Kevin Knox is going to be a bust. Some of you guys say he's going to be a star. This is the chance you take when guys are 19 years old. It just is. When guys are 19 years old, you just don't know yet. We talked about it before. This is when you got to look at. the, do they have a good grasp of the intangibles of the game, or the small nuances of the game? And I'll continue to harp on it. This is when you've got to look at that, and then you've got to look at their work ethic, character. To try to understand, what this guy could possibly be. You're definitely going to look at the talent and see if the talent is what you want this player to be. But what about the other things? What about the other things? It's a good workout schedule for the Knicks. Miles Bridges is on that schedule. And, he's a player that a lot of people believe the Knicks should draft over Mikal Bridges. And listen, I agree with some of the things that those people say about Miles Bridges. I think he definitely has more talent, more athleticism than Mikal Bridges. My fear with Miles Bridges is that he's going to end up being an undersized power forward in the NBA. Like Melo. Melo right now, although Melo was a 3, right now Melo is an undersized power forward in the NBA because he can't guard guys. He can't guard those long-legged guys on the perimeter. Right? He's beginning to have a tougher time shooting over those guys on the perimeter. Melo's body is built right now to bang down low. We've seen him have in 2012, 2013, Melo had an MVP caliber year. And a big part of that is because he played the 4 position. He played that power forward position. The problem is, he's Melo is kind of a tweener between a small forward and power forward. And I don't know if his body can continuously handle the banging that you're going to get from a true power forward down low that's 6'10" in a bruiser type. Right? And maybe those guys aren't existing as much. They're still in the league, though. They're still in the league. You're still going to have those kind of power forwards, but it's just that they can extend out to the 3-point line now. And that's what concerns me about Miles. When I look at his body type, I feel like Miles is going to be one of those tweener, small forward, power forward guys. He's even listed right now as a small forward / power forward. He's 6'6", 220. Right? So he's not crazy long. It's kind of a Barkley type. It's like a Barkley type. And I don't know but that's what concerns me about Miles. His athleticism is a 9, his size 6, for good reasons. Defense is an 8, defense is a 7, strength is an 8, quickness is an 8, leadership is an 8, jump shot is an 8, NBA ready 8, rebounding 8, potential 8, post skills 7, and intangibles 8 for 93 overall. Nick D, but he's what we need. And maybe, he could be. I don't know. Maybe so. Explain that to me, Nick D. Explain to me why Miles Bridges is what we need. I think that we need someone who's longer than 6'6". Right now, if we're gonna get a 6'6" small forward, then why don't we if we're gonna have a 6'6" small forward, you got Tim Hardaway as a 6'6" small forward for us right now, as well. I think if you're gonna get a small forward, you gotta get someone who's longer. You gotta get someone who's longer. Delano Steele, you say that's not power forward size. Exactly. That and see, that's the concern. That's not power forward size. 6'6" isn't power forward size. That's shooting guard size. Right? But he plays a small forward and power forward position in college. You know what I mean? That concerns me about Miles. It really concerns me about him. That he plays that power forward, small forward, power forward position at 6'6" on the college level. How is that going to translate to success in the NBA? I'm not saying that it can't. I'm just asking the question. You know what I mean? I'm just asking the question, how is it going to translate in the NBA. Famo, she asking about Draymond Green. How tall is Draymond Green? That's a good question. Draymond is 6'6". 6'7". Draymond Green is about 6'7". Draymond plays that small forward. I guess he plays a small forward / power forward sometimes, right? I don't know. It concerns me. Let's just say that. I just think it just concerns me. Kevin Painter, you say Miles got heart, got bounce, a fiery competitor, and can rebound. He can be our Draymond next to KP. Yahoo, you say he's not a power forward, size or small forward. Luckily, Miles has the athleticism to maybe survive. Crowder is the guy with his dimensions that has played small forward decently. Hey, you know what? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe so. But it still concerns me. His size still concerns me because I would, just looking at the way the NBA is, listen, Kevin Durant, 6'10", 6'9", 6'10", 6'11" or something, plays small forward. He can play shooting guard, small forward. These guys are, crazy long, and everyone's not going to be KD, obviously. How do you match up with the length that's in the NBA, and where are we going in the future? Because we're not winning right now. So everything that we've got to look at has to be future. Right? And in the future, how do we do it in the future? Do we want more length? Or, will Miles be okay with his size? Or is length going to just consume the NBA at every position? It's a good question, and it's one that has to be considered when you're talking about drafting guys. You know what I mean? He's definitely talented. He has good body control, good footwork. He did show some dedication to lose some weight and get himself in better shape, and he's still doing that. He has he definitely has some tools, and he's going to be a strong one. He's strong now, and he's going to get stronger. But I look at him. He doesn't have dynamic speed, and those type of things, and he doesn't have the body type that's long and lanky. And excuse the pop up on the screen. He doesn't have the type that's long and lanky. He has the body type that's gonna bulk up a little bit more, in my opinion. I think he's gonna bulk up a little bit more. So that's gonna be the question. That's gonna be the question about Miles Bridges, and that's my concern about Miles Bridges. You know what I mean? The Prince, what's poppin', man? How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling good, son. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like hearing that Kyrie news. I told you, I think I said that the last couple times we done talked that I got a bad feeling. I think Kyrie want to come play for the Knicks. So that was good to hear that. I missed the whole part about LeBron coming to Boston though. So that was new to hear that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess I guess it's kind of out there a little bit that LeBron will interview with Boston. At least give Boston an interview. You know what I mean?
Okay. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm waiting for the report of my boy Knox. I'm looking forward to what the Knicks brass got to say about them boys because, like you said, I think the pick will come out of this weekend's group. It's gonna be either him or Wendell Carter. I truly believe.
Okay. All right. So okay.
So I got a bad feeling. Now it's just really figuring out what we're going to do with that second round pick. You know, I don't know if we're going to go with a big, you know, to maybe help out young Cornet, you know what I'm saying? Or like you said, maybe pick one up like Noel. Get him. I think that'd be dope to pick him up as a center.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm hoping with that second pick we can get lucky and get Isaac Bonga. I do not think he's going to be there at 36. I'm hoping we can get lucky, though.
First round. I think they're going to come back and get him like late first round or something.
Who?
Isaac Bonga. I think they're going to come back and get him like in the late first round. They're going to come back and steal him. Somebody. I don't think it'll be the Knicks, but I think somebody will like buy a late second round pick and steal him before everybody in the second round can get him.
Yeah, I mean, that might be. Or, you know, someone like San Antonio or someone like that picks him up and tries to develop him. I'm hoping that the Knicks can find a way to get him. You know what I mean? I would really like to get Isaac Bonga. I have a good feeling about him. I really do. I have a good feeling about him. I'm not saying he's going to be a star or anything like that, but I have a good feeling about his skill set translating to today's NBA and the future. You know what I mean?
Got you. That's why I definitely like Knox. Like you talk about Miles. That's the thing that does scare me with him because he got the body size of, like you said, a power forward, but he's a tweener at 6'6". So it's like, you know, like you said, all his athleticism, like he's like a Sean Kemp. You know, if that's who I remind, you know, he remind me of like a Sean Kemp. You know, crazy athleticism, like you said, small guard, more of a guard size, you know, body size. But like you said, just crazy athletic, and you can't really control him. So you really can't put him at a 2 or a 3 because he's so brute and athletic. So he got to be a 3 or a 4. But much like you said, I think if one injury or a couple years, and Miles will he'll be considered a 4 all day long.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then he's kind of undersized at the 4. Who knows what'll happen with him? And then maybe he's just gonna be a player. And you put him in and he'll be able to, you know, man 2 or 3 different positions or something.
And that too, like you said, now this new NBA with this, everybody's buying into this positionless basketball. You know, again, a guy like him could be, like you said, a gem for somebody. Where like somebody like us, we like Scott Perry said, and that's why I respect his mantra of saying that. Like we just in a talent acquisition stage, we're saying we're not looking for one particular player. We more just like who's ever available that could help us win now, later, and maybe be trade bait down the road. We'll take them. But I think, like I said, I think that's a smoke screen because I think they already got a feeling who they want. It's going to be either Carter Jr., Wendell Carter, or it's going to be Knox. I really believe it.
Okay.
I definitely believe it, man. But again, Sam, definitely had to call in, man. Like I said, will you be you coming? You probably won't be coming on tomorrow, right?
Probably not tomorrow. I'll be on Sunday.
Okay.
I'll be on Sunday night, then Tuesday night, then Thursday night, then back on Sunday. That's the schedule that I'm looking at right now. Since the since the finals are over, I'll probably come on. Not probably. I'll be on Sunday night at 10:30, Tuesday at 10:30, Thursday at 10:30. You know, so Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 10:30.
Yeah, so it's probably I'm pretty sure you have some crazy LeBron news for us to talk about, and we'll talk about the this weekend's picks. Like I said, something else that's surprising, and maybe that's Scott Perry, holding their cards, but I didn't hear anything. Did you hear anything? They say anything about Wendell Carter or Mike Hill this weekend about how they workouts went?
I know Wendell Carter's workout. They seemed like it went well. The meeting went well from what Wendell Carter said in his little interview after the workout. I know they did some defensive drills with him. Really looked at defense. So I think they're intrigued, and he's intrigued about being in New York. But listen, anytime they interview the player afterwards, the player's always going to say that the workout went well.
Right.
What did the Knicks see and what do the Knicks think? Who knows? You know what I mean?
True. And that's like you said, a lot of fans, mad because we don't get to, like you said, really be in the war room with them. But, maybe they'll let us in later on, throughout the process in the next up and coming. Give us a look into, how they think and how they look at players. Because, like I said, I watch on YouTube often, and like the Lakers, they show all of their workouts and stuff like that. But I mean, obviously, I know we ain't the Lakers. But again, it would be nice maybe if the Knicks film crew, if they could start putting some.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, for real. That'd be real good.
But like you said, man, beggars can't be choosers. We got a new culture. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole new vision of thinking, and like I said, I think we on to something special here. Like I said, I'm looking forward to what this new Knicks regime gonna look like. How hungry these boys gonna be coming into the summer. So, Hey, Sim, can't wait till the summer. You know what I'm saying? How we gonna work out this summer? Talking to you and getting ready for the next season.
It's gonna be fun, man. For real, can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, bro. Like
I said, man.
You infectious, bro. You are infectious. Like
Appreciate it, bro.
Maybe you'll bring the Knicks back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'm with it. Give me that chance. I'll take that chance.
I'm with it, bro. Hey, well, appreciate the call. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to the chat, man. Tony Crow, James Willie, my boy Ridu Raza, all y'all, man. Keep supporting Sim. Keep supporting the Knicks, man.
Bro.
Stop fighting with each other, man. And let's fight with the
Yeah. All right, man. All right, peace out, bro. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Later. Yeah. A lot of workouts this weekend for the Knicks. Who else we got on the workout schedule this weekend? Let's see who else we got there. Hamidou Diallou, Miles Bridges, Zhaire Smith. Guards. We're working out guards. That tells me something that the Knicks are, they're considering guards in their crop of wings. You know what I mean? Still working out those guards. It tells me something. So that's what we're working out this weekend. It's starting tomorrow. Going back to, looking at, I don't know if we even looked at, we looked at Kevin Knox before, but we might as well go ahead and check him out a little bit. Kevin Knox, just look at his dimensions or whatever you want to call it a little bit. The kid is 6'9", and I know somebody on Twitter, asked me a question about, the big difference between Mikal Bridges and Tim Hardaway playing that small forward position. And Mikal's, 6'7", just an inch taller. Wingspan is close to the same. Don't you want to get somebody that's a little bit longer and really a little bit taller? And so they were talking about Kevin Knox. Listen, the kid, it looks like he has athletic tools. Stands at 6'9", he's 218 pounds, 215, 218 pounds, whatever it is. Kind of small. Wingspan, 7 foot wingspan, and maybe it could be a little bit longer. Listen, Mikal Bridges, 6'7", with a 7 foot wingspan. He's a talented guy. Athleticism, 9, rated by NBA Draft.net. Size, 9. Defense, 8. Strength, 8. Quickness, 7. Leadership, 7. Jump shot, 8. NBA ready, 7. Rebounding, 8. Potential, 9. Post skills, 7. The intangibles, 7. Overall, 94. Listen, it's a guy that you're going to. He's a guy that's 7'3" Mikal. My bad. I mean Yahoo. Yeah, like something like 7'3" for Mikal. He's a guy that you're gonna have to probably wait on for a year or two. You have to wait on him for a year or two, but the Knicks are in position to do that. They're in position to do it. So, listen. It's 2:00 in the morning. We've been on for about 2 hours. It's cool. It's not bad. NBA rumors. I think we talked about all the rumors already. Of course, the biggest rumors are about LeBron James, Kyrie Irving. Not many more rumors right now to talk about, I don't think. You know. Derek Toyer says, Sim, enough of talking about guards. It seems you're not confident in Frank. You know what? I am 100% confident in Frank. I'm just looking at who the Knicks are working out. They're working out guards. You know, guards that are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". They're working out guards. And that tells me that they're looking in that direction, possibly. I like Frank. Trust me, I am a big Frank fan. If you were here over the season, you would know how much of a Frank Ntilikina fan that I really am. I think that Frank can be a very good player in this league for a very long time. But the facts are that the Knicks have looked at several guards. They're looking at Hamidou Diallo, Zhaire Smith. They looked at Lonnie Walker, and some other guards. They're looking at guards. You know, so that means that position is on their radar. And it also means that they're probably looking at some other moves. They're looking at some other moves that they're going to do in the future. So this, you know, and these moves could happen over the draft. You know, that's just the facts, bro. Just the facts. You say the Knicks, public enemy, you say the Knicks ain't confident in Frank. You know, I don't know. What if they're not confident in Tim Hardaway Jr.? You ever thought about that? What if they do like Frank, but after this year, they're like, maybe Tim Hardaway Jr. isn't what we want. Or maybe they're not confident in Trey Burke. Or maybe they're not confident in somebody else. You know, Emmanuel Mudiay. Maybe they're not confident in Mudiay. Or Ron Burgundy. Who knows? You know what I mean? It could be any of the crew. Courtney Lee. You know, they know that Courtney Lee's not going to be there forever. Probably not past this free agency, I think. You know what I mean? You know? So, I mean, I think it's, I think it's, you know, it could be any of these guys. You know what I mean? But the facts are they're looking in the way of guards. And I'm sure they're simply trying to cover everything. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's the facts. Who's Mark? What's popping, man?
I know I wanted to get on right. I just got on right before you had to get off. I just want to get my clip off real quick because I'm telling you right now. I told you, 2019, don't sleep on Kyrie Irving. I'm telling you, boys, do not sleep on Kyrie Irving. Don't sleep on that because, he did not want to go to Boston. He just probably said to get away from LeBron James. I'm glad he did that, and Kyrie's the real MVP. Now you're on TV trying to change the narrative. My hand is broke. Pathetic. Pathetic. He quit tonight. He quit.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been watching this man. When he's locked in, he's locked in. He quit. He quit tonight.
I agree with you there.
And once he quit, everybody else gonna quit. And then you know what's so amazing about people, LeBron James fans, what kills me is he will go on the podium and say, I want to play with smarter players. Like, people are not dissecting what he's saying on that podium. Yeah. He's saying every player that he just had on this team that he got traded for, because if he wanted to keep Isaiah D-Wade, he's the guy to keep them there. He got them all traded. Right. He got them all traded.
Listen, he was playing with some Fruit Loops though this year, man.
No, listen, bro.
In the finals.
Listen, bro. Let me tell you something.
And check this out though. Before you get there, no one can tell me though that Dwayne Wade wouldn't have helped that man out in the finals. I don't care.
And that's a big dilemma. But the thing is, let me tell you the thing is, when you watch Cleveland, it's like, because what people don't understand with LeBron James, what he does too, he limits other players because they have to stand there and watch him for
for 18 seconds and then he gives the ball up. Don't people watch that a lot? He does that almost every play. Like he will get the ball, dribble the air out of it. Just because he puts up these numbers and all this other stuff, he does a lot to damage the other players and make them look so subpar. And it's the fact that no one has the balls on television to say anything critical of LeBron James because, number one, he's the face of the league. And number two, they don't want to come out their face because LeBron James is one of the greats. And in the fact that they just don't want to look like that guy to talk bad about LeBron James. That's why I got to respect people like Stephen A. Because what people not understanding, Kyrie left because of what just, if he don't win, he complains. When people, he complains every time. Every time. You put a scenario where you've seen Dirk complain. Dirk, out of all Dirk's career, he never played with an all-star player. Never. Now, Michael Finley was not an all-star when he was playing. Steve Nash wasn't an all-star when he was playing. Jason Terry was a role player. He played with complete role players. So how about when Kobe? You never heard Kobe complain about his play, even when he lost to Boston. You didn't complain about it. He came back next year and did his thing. He made sure Pau Gasol came back and play more assertive because KG bitched him that thing. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, LeBron never had no help." It's the narrative. Every year he loses. I have no help. I have no help. I have no help. How about you just man up and just say you got your butt kicked? Every year, every freaking year. I don't feel sorry for him. And and this is why people hate Skip Bayless, because he brings out the truth, and it's LeBron James critics, and it's ESPN come up with these ghost stats every time he does something. A stat. No one cares. It's either a win or dub. It's either a win or loss. Why is it the fact that when he beat OKC, they need help? Mm-hmm. No, you're the best player in the league. Why is it always you need help? There's other players in the league. Why do they need help? Why is it I need help all the time?
Hey, you know what? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yo, speaking of the devil, about that kid you was talking about, he's from France. That 6'6" guard. I forgot his name. God damn. Is it Isaac? Wait, is it Isaac? What is it?
Isaac Bongo's from Germany. 6'10". He's 6'10" guard.
Yo, I was seeing some tape on this kid. Oh my God.
Yeah,
he
man.
Is Lucy. He is Lucy. What was you talking about, Wendell Carter? I'm telling you, there's something special about that kid. Too.
Now, we were just reviewing him, because he worked out for the Knicks today. But listen, I'm really hoping that the Knicks can find a way to pull off Isaac Bonga somewhere in the late first round or second round. I don't think he drops to 36.
I think the way he risen up and dropped, I think he's gonna go before 20. I really think
Isaac
he's gonna go
Bonga?
before 20. Yeah,
he's gonna go before 20. Wow.
He's gonna go before 20. He might go before 20 because that is 6. He's a 2 guard, and they put him to the point guard, but he's 6'10". 6'10". But when you watch him, he gets rid of he's a passer. He's a passer, and he can shoot it. He can shoot it a little bit. He can shoot a little bit. And
he's a legitimate point guard.
That's
crazy. That's crazy.
6'10", and when he gets the ball, he takes off. It's not like it's like he don't get the ball and just bring. He takes off. He has point guard skills. He's gonna go before. Go before. I feel it.
He might, man. He might. He definitely might. I wouldn't be surprised, because the more people look at him and look at the way the NBA is going nowadays, they're gonna be really interested in him.
He came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere. And one more thing before I go. What was I to say? Tim Hardaway is gonna get traded sooner or later, guys. That's why they're looking at all these guards,
all these guards.
Let me tell y'all something, man. I keep telling y'all, Tim Hardaway is a bench player, guys. He's a good quality player. He's not a starter. It's a difference, and he plays no defense. I keep telling y'all, them feet that he got.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't care what he does offensively. It's more about the defensive end with him.
Yeah. I've never been impressed with Tim Hardaway's game.
No,
Never.
you know the only thing I like about him though, he takes shots. It's like he takes those shots where it's like you don't want him to take it, but you want somebody to take it.
But you want, yeah. I give him. Yep, I'll give you that. He is.
I like that. And if you put him in a great system, he does things. He does the cutting. He does the running.
Yep.
But it's his. I guess he's gonna need a coach to really teach him how. His shot selection is what kills.
Shot selection kills him, and so I am interested to see what Fizdale can do with him. I say that.
The fact is, what kills him the most is that $70 million.
Yeah, that hurts him. Yeah, it does hurt him because the expectations are a lot higher now.
Yeah, you got $70 million. That's a lot of money. That's like a percentage of a thing. And the thing is, if he got paid 10 per year, it wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
wouldn't be bad. But that's around his price range. But I'm gonna let you get out of here because it's 2 o'clock. And I know
it's 2 o'clock, man. I'm about to head out. Appreciate the call, Mark.
I'll look back.
All right, peace, man. Yes, folks. So I think we covered all the NBA rumors, or at least the big NBA rumors. So I'm heading out. You know what I mean? I'm heading out. I'm done. I'm gone. And I am going to be back Sunday night at 10:30. All right, so make sure y'all come and check me. Sunday night, 10:30. Make sure you come check me. We're going to have more Knicks news, more NBA rumors, and I'm sure between now and then there's going to be a lot of stuff come out about the New York Knicks. Not just the Knicks. There's going to be more stuff to come out about the Knicks, about NBA rumors. You know what I mean? Because now is the time. The finals are over, and in the NBA, they don't want anything to overlap or jump on top of the NBA finals. So any rumors, big rumors, anything like that, they kind of squash it. Adam Silver says, listen, squash these things for now. Let the finals do what the finals going to do, and then we can rock with it. And so now, you should expect in the coming days, there's going to be stuff coming out all over the place, probably within the next week leading up to the draft, or the next 2 weeks leading up to the draft. Going to be all kinds of stuff, man. So listen, I'm gone. I'm out. Remember, I'm going to be back on Sunday at 10:30. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Sometimes it could be a little bit later. Things happen. But for the most part, Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I'll be on at 10:30. And, we're going to talk about the New York Knicks all summer leading into the NBA season, preseason, season, all that. So rock with me. Continue to rock with me. I'm out. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll see you Sunday night. And peace, man. Have a good one. If you enjoyed this stream, please hit the subscribe button below. Get a notification anytime that I'm live. Join me every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. as we talk New York Knicks, the draft, free agency, leading up into the season. Peace.